I have to believe that the number one reason that any fisherman would choose a Hobie adventure or tandem island kayak has to do with its speed and range advantage. Standard paddle or even pedal powered kayaks do not give you this kind of speed or the ability to travel these kind of distances in a given amount of time. So if you've got to get out there, if you've got to go some distance to get after your fish, these are the boats. But storage of tackle and rods is often not as good as in the more true fishing oriented boats. But there's some things you can do about that, and I'll show them to you now. The biggest problem in getting to your fishing destination and keeping your rods safe is that upright rod holders, whether it be the factory molded in holders or some sort of a ram mount, Berkeley, Railblazer, whatever you've got to keep the rods in an upright position, there's always the danger of rods being jostled out. The main sheet can catch them and pull them out of the boat. I had that happen early on. Upright rod storage is simply not a good method for storing your rods while you're underway. There is a better way. Let's take a look. Safest way to store your rods when you're in transit, rough seas, traveling at speed is horizontal. Keep them low, nothing can snag on them. They're not going to get jostled out of the boat if you have the proper holder. These rods will not shake out on their own. You will not lose them in rough seas. You cannot get a rod out unless you manually take it out. They're easy to put in too. The tip goes in like so. Slide the rod in, turn the reel, turn it over. It's there. These rods are not coming out. And they're safe right here. There's nothing going to damage them. You can see what I've done. These are made from high density polyethylene cutting board material, which you can pick up at any discount store for a few bucks. Size the holes appropriately for the rod you're going to carry. Typically smaller in the front for smaller guides, larger in the rear to accommodate the butt sections on your rods. When you arrive at your fishing destination, you're ready to start fishing, it's a simple matter to remove the rods. Turn the reel, slide the rod forward and out, and now you can place them in any upright rod storage device that you have, whether you're going to troll or just want the rods at hand. And you can do all this from the seat. Just pay attention to where you locate these holders. Don't go out too far, it's not necessary. I typically begin mine right inside of our support bar for the Akas. Here's a close-up look of the horizontal rod holders. High density polyethylene. This is just cutting board material. I think it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. You can buy these any kind of discount store, a couple of bucks. You know, you can make these longer. If you're going to carry more rods, you might want to make two, one for each side. You may only carry a couple of rods, 3 rods, so you can make them shorter. It's always better to have maybe 1 or 2 extra openings than what you think you're going to need. And holes are smaller on the front for the rod tips and the smaller guides, larger on the rear to accommodate the rod butts. You start by putting your silicone tape down on the Aka bar that provides a non-slip surface. These are 3/16 inch mounting holes in the polyethylene, and these are simply plastic wire ties cinched down really tight. They're snug. They're not going to go anywhere. I've been using this type horizontal rod holder on 3 or 4 different Hobie Tandem and Adventure Islands now since about 2010. Never lost a rod, never had any problems with them. They work, they do exactly what they're supposed to do. The only thing I have not done so far is figured out a way to incorporate them if you're running trampolines. I typically run trampoline on one side of the boat. It's great, nice place to put some of your gear, lay things out when you're getting ready. But on the other side, mainly because of the rod holders, I don't run one. So it's up to you. If you run a full set, one on each side, you may have to find another way to mount these. I imagine it's probably would be possible to punch a hole in the trampoline, cut a slot in it. I don't know. I'd have to look at that sort of thing. There may be another way to do this, but I'll leave that up to you. I just wanted to put it out there. I've used them for so many years, and they've worked so well, and I just thought it's something that the guys can take and run with that are fishing out of these absolutely fantastic Hobie Adventure and Tandem Island boats. See you on the water.